We're back. We're back. Feels good to be back. Woo, got a good setup here. Hope you can see me a bit better. Hope I'm sounding okay as well. Let me know if I sound okay in the live stream, if you can hear me okay, if you can see me okay, if I'm coming in. Good, I got Awesome Life Group Orange on tonight. We're trying to night stream, Jerome. The night. See if we get some night owls, some early birds and some night owls. Some people are up early starting their day. Just kidding. It's clearly a night stream. So thank you for being here on the evening. Hopefully we can get some more individuals in. We're talking about one of the worst things you could possibly do for your credit ever. One of the worst things ever for your credit, in my opinion. Okay, and this is not financial or legal advice. We're talking about the credit and one of the worst things you can do. Okay, we're talking about a lot of stuff here. Let me show you real quick what we're going to run down right now so you get an idea of what we're talking about here on this live. Okay, so on this live, boom, and I want that as the default room. Come on now. Why debt settlement companies may not be right for you, may or may not be right for you. Again, not financial legal advice, but it may not be right for you. Could be the worst ever for your credit. I'm going to explain why, okay? We're talking about student loan forgiveness and why it's good for the people, the individuals that I get emails all the time, individuals who need student loan forgiveness. There's some stuff out there that has been signed into law. There's some student loan forgiveness going to be taken care of. I'm going to show you what's going on with that on this live. We're talking about areas of free college and how that relates to why forgiveness is good and why college shouldn't or could be free. It should be free. We're also talking about FOMC meetings from the Fed, the Federal Reserve, and their meetings in Jackson Hole and what that means for the stock market, for business, for loans, for investment, for credit, and why a 2% inflation rate may not be possible in the United States. But we'll see. We'll talk about that. We're talking about the stock market actually being up 63% in the past 5 days and why crypto is flat and down and not doing all that great. But we're going to come back in just 7 seconds after our intro. Be right back with you. So let's get right into it. Awesome intro, by the way. Jerome, good work. But let's get right into it. Okay, worst thing ever for your credit. Debt settlement company. What is a debt settlement company? It's not a credit repair company. It's not debt consolidation. It's not debt forgiveness. It's not disputing these negative, unverified items, which you can do at 609creditrepair.com, or we can do the work for you at the Awesome Life Group. This is debt settlement. Okay, and it's a debt settlement company like we were talking about on the rundown there in the beginning. So let me read this email to you so you get a good understanding of what's happening to this individual, what you can avoid, and one of the worst things that might happen to your credit from doing this. One of the worst things that I think it is and why. So this individual says, hey, a couple of years ago, I went with one of these debt settlement companies. And this person had 3 credit cards. And the debt settlement company said, hey, we're going to close these credit cards and you are going to make a monthly payment. Okay? You're going to make a monthly payment. Well, now this person has looked at their credit and their credit score has come down and they have not gotten any payments on their credit reports. They haven't got any credit for those payments. So this person's making payments to this debt settlement company, and they're not getting any payments onto their credit cards. In fact, they've got late payments on their credit cards. So this person's confused. They said, well, my credit cards are closed. I got late payments on them. What's going on? Well, first and foremost, this debt settlement company isn't doing anything that you couldn't do on your own behalf. Okay. And I'm not saying, hey, look, maybe there's a situation where you got to do it. Again, we're just talking about the credit repair side of things and what could happen to your credit if you do this, okay? Maybe it makes sense for you and your financial situation or whatnot, whatever it is that you have going on. But typically what you can do is you can dispute unverified negative items. You could settle on your own behalf. You don't necessarily need a company to do that, right? We teach you here how to do the credit repair on your own behalf. Now, if you need a company to do it, we can do it, okay? But we want to teach you and empower you. So these individuals say, oh, well, you're going to pay and we're going to close out these credit cards and we're going to get them squared away and everything's going to be okay. But they don't tell you all the nitty gritty, which I'm about to do right here. I'm going to tell you everything that happens in these types of debt settlement, how it works, and is it worth it? And right here, I'm going to bring up an article to show you that it's not just me. It's just right from Forbes, okay? First and foremost, I think this is the number one thing, but they have it as number 5. Inquire about the timetable, okay? It often takes 2 or 4 years. You see that? It often takes 2 to 4 years to complete the debt settlement process if you go through one of these companies. Over that time, you may accumulate interest, fees, negative late payments, charge-offs, all sorts of negative stuff on your credit. This may hit you in a situation where you didn't think, hey, I can't keep doing this for 2 or 4 years. You're destroying my credit. Okay? Debt settlement companies often suggest you stop making the payments to the creditor while they're quote unquote working on some type of settlement and you're sending those funds to the debt settlement company. Okay? Those funds oftentimes are going to debt settlement companies. You're not paying your credit cards. The debt settlement company says, okay, well, you can pay us X amount of dollars. And in 2 to 4 years, when your credit score is terrible, we're going to go to these credit card companies and we're going to say, look, we're just going to pay them a little bit. And they're going to keep the remainder. The debt settlement company is going to keep the remainder. Christopher Dillard, hey, good to see you, Christopher Dillard. It's been a long time. Hope all is well with you too, brother. Christopher Dillard had a great success. There you go. They're saying right here, this man's company, Awesome Life Group, saved me. He's got a great testimonial. In fact, I should put together a reel to pop up on the lives to show you one of his great testimonials. Christopher Dillard, veteran, was able to get a VA loan, build a home after we helped him get to the other side of his credit journey. It's amazing. Cornita, he says, thank you, Brandon and Cornita. That's right. Cornita, my partner, also helped, and the whole team at Awesome Life Group helped. We all helped. We all helped Chris get to the other side. Chris helped himself get to the other side as well. He reached out to us. He made sure that it was possible for us to get him to the other side. It's all a partnership, it's all a good team, but we helped him get to the other side. He's probably sitting in his house right now on a Sunday evening, watching my live stream, enjoying his life. Things have changed for him, and it could for you too, okay? 609creditrepair.com. We can do the work for you at theawesomelifegroup.com. So as you see, these debt settlement companies are trying to negotiate. You can negotiate on your own. You can dispute on your own. You can get this stuff squared around on your own. You don't have to wait 2 to 4 years, okay? This person's credit is, tanked now. This is one of the worst things you can do because they're not paying these bills on your behalf. They're hoarding the money, keeping in escrow, keeping it. And then they're going to turn around in 2 to 4 years and they're going to say, okay, well, we're going to pay you Y amount of dollars, and they got X amount of dollars from you, and they're going to keep the difference, right? So you're paying fees to them. They're going to keep the difference. Chances are credit score is going to get bad. You're not going to save that much money. It's not debt consolidation, which you could do with your own loan. Go to your own credit union, consolidate, and get a better interest rate, right? After you repair some of your credit anyway. Some of these things could have been charged off, and you could have disputed them, potentially get out from under it, right? Now we talk about here. So this is one of the most terrible, worst, awful things that could happen to your credit. Okay. There's negotiation problems, increase in debt, negative impact on credit score. Right there, it says because the creditors are motivated to settle the debt only when they think it's the only way they'll get paid, your accounts may already have been past due, and that's what they're working on. Okay, that's what they're hoping, is that stuff's going to be past due, and they're not going to be able to handle this anymore. The collector and the creditor, they're just not going to be able to handle, and they're going to get worn out, and they're just going to take the settlement. And this credit debt company, this debt settlement company, is going to collect the remainder. Okay, so you get it. So you can dispute these negative items, get them out of there, get them out of your life. Okay, and you can continue to put your questions in the chat as well. We will get to them. as we go along, and as we, we always follow up with Q&A at the end. My email is right here, info@609creditrepair.com. If for some reason I miss one of your questions, you can always email me and I will get to you on the email as well. Okay. So this individual writes in, thank you for your letters. I removed my student loans. Thank you, B. Now I'm in the 700 club. This is fantastic. Thank you. Thank you very much for being a part of the subscribe tribe, letting everybody know that it is possible to dispute, remove these negative unverified student loans, move on with your life. In fact, this administration out here in the government has gotten a little student loan forgiveness going on as well. I'd like to bring up a little clip for us so we can watch. And, if you're dealing with some student loan stuff, we can dispute. We can help you get these late payments. Maybe you got student loan forgiveness. Maybe you got all sorts of options for you now. Let's go ahead and get into this. I apologize. I'm getting a little bit better with this live software. Let's see here.
Joe Biden announced a sweeping new policy to cancel student debt for millions of Americans. The policy also adjusts how much borrowers will have to pay each month and extends the pause on payments. Americans who made less than $125,000 per year in 2020 or 2021 would qualify for a $10,000 cancellation of debt. For Americans in the same salary bracket who took out Pell Grants, the total forgiveness would go up to $20,000. The forgiveness applies to anyone who took out their loans before July 2022. The Department of Education has some people's information, so their debt could be canceled automatically. Some may also need to submit a simple application showing they meet the income caps. Erasing $10,000 in student loan debt will cost the government about $300 billion. Because the federal government backs many student loans, U.S. taxpayers will likely foot the bill. Biden's new policy was just one of his vows around reforming the higher education system.
And we're back. So, as you can see, his administration here, Biden's administration, is helping people forgive, cancel out $10,000 to up to $20,000. Okay, $10,000 worth of student loan debt, $20,000 worth of Pell Grants. Okay. Now, as you see, it says, oh, well, it's going to cost the government $300 billion and the taxpayer is going to foot the bill. Let me tell you something. Okay. The taxpayer has been footing the bill for all sorts of forgiveness, all sorts of bailouts, all sorts of money, all sorts of free money for banks, for Wall Street, for corporations, which I won't even name, but you can look them up. All sorts of corporations. There have been subsidies and forgiveness and loans and free cash for the big guys. It is time that the individuals who are really struggling, the people that I get emails from about their student loans, people I get emails about who need to get these negative student loans off their credit reports, it's time for them to get some help. Okay. So this is a start in the right direction. Okay. Plenty of people have more than that. Plenty of people have more than $10,000 in student loan. Okay. But it's a start in the right direction. And this is why this is good for people. I think it's good for the economy. I know there's plenty of, people out there who'd be like, oh, well, maybe not. It's not all that good and so forth and so on. But I think it is. Okay. Student loan forgiveness is good for the people. Individuals who are struggling, individuals who could utilize that money and start a business, which is going to be very helpful to the economy. I know individuals who can start a business for $10,000, maybe $12,000, $15,000, $20,000. And having a good sizable chunk of that available to them is fantastic. Not to mention they were not going to miss late payments potentially on their student loans and having to dispute them and having to spend time on that. It's time, energy, money that they don't have to deal with. Okay. that gives them the opportunity to have good credit and to utilize it again, leverage it. Investment in real estate, investment in stocks, investment in Bitcoin, crypto, whatever they want, travel the world. You use that money to do whatever you need to that's going to make you happy and healthy and wealthy and successful, which will help everyone else in the United States. I'm telling you, you want people to be educated. You want people to be worldly. You want people to be smart and savvy and unburdened with that. That's how wealth is built. And those types of things get passed down typically to individuals who come from lineages like that. But you got to have somebody willing to help. And this is the type of stuff we can all help one another with. Because I'll tell you what, a lot of times individuals like us, like individuals who are maybe the smaller guy, get pushed down and didn't have all those advantages years ago. Right? You know what I'm saying? It's just got to kind of get some help, right? So it's good. I also want to we talk a little bit about free college. I know you saw my slate there, which we were talking about, our rundown. We've got some free colleges and why I think free colleges could be great and all that great stuff. But of course, you know, state schools in the U.S. are the most affordable. But they're not always the most affordable, okay? Average cost of college by year, and this clearly is pretty recent, it's this year. Over the past 20 years, the average cost of tuition for a 4-year public institution has risen 179.2%. Okay, that's an average annual increase of about 9% every year. Now, wages typically don't go up 9% every year, do they? But college goes up 9% every year for the past 20 years for 179. 179%. Arnold says, 11:40 at night. Come on, Brandon. Yep, I'm trying something different. Wanted to see if we got a few other eyes on. See if the night is easier, the morning, the afternoon. We're coming in all the time, Ryan. Okay, I'm about to do some morning live stream soon this week. We'll do some afternoon, some night, some evening. I don't sleep. I stays awake, Ryan. I stays up. All right, so you're looking at it. This is why student loan forgiveness is a good thing. How could anyone young who's going to college, or anyone in that, for that matter, okay, anyone, usually younger people going to college. I went to when I was pretty young, and you don't have the resources to be paying all this for college, but yet college tuition goes up and up and up and up because student loans exist. They're federally backed, and the tuition gets paid. And so this colleges realize, oh, wait, well, you can just keep raising the rates, and inflation is crazy. So, we can just keep going up and up and up, and people will pay it. And there's no one to help the individual. So this is why this is a good thing. People will potentially complain, oh, it's not fair, and this and that, and so forth and so on but they have other things, right? They have other Ryan's fire. He likes it. It's good to see you, Ryan. I'm glad you're here as well. I think we got a few more eyes on this live. I stays up. So it's very important. That if college can't be free in the U.S., which it isn't, we need to subsidize. We need to help people out. Okay. All right. So free colleges. Let's talk about it. Okay. And, student loan forgiveness. Once that student loan forgiveness goes through, that'll be discharged on your credit reports. If you have all good on-time payment history for that period of time, you will have good all-time payment history, and it will stay on your credit reports. So just because it gets discharged doesn't mean it's going to be removed from your credit reports. It can still be good credit for you. Okay, so if you make your on-time payments, you're good. If you were in a deferment and you had all green in on-time payment history, because it's history, even if it wasn't paid but it was deferred, it's still good for you. If you had some late payments, you know where to go. 609creditrepair.com, or we can do the dispute process for you. You can dispute the late payments. You can use goodwill letters, and you get them updated to positive. I know this firsthand from myself. I had some student loans where I had late payments. Okay, so here's 6 countries that do free college. 6 countries. Now, these happen to be European countries, but as U.S. stock costs skyrocket for college, some Americans go abroad. They go to Norway. They go to Finland. They go to Sweden. They go to Germany. They go to France. They go to Denmark. Now, let's say you're like, oh, I don't want to go to Europe. Okay, you could always go to Brazil. You could go to Mexico. These are free. These are mega, mega big countries, right? These are, everyone knows those country names. I'm not talking about names I don't know, right? Out there somewhere. These are well-known countries, well-to-do countries. Sweden and Germany and Finland and France and Norway, and he can go and have a good time and get some free college, right? And that's what they provide to their citizens. Well, why can't we provide it to ours? We've got subsidies for big banks and oil and all sorts of things and energy and committees. It's because we've got a top-down, trickle-down capitalist country. And individuals who are watching this right now know that. They feel it. They feel it in their pocketbook. They feel it when it comes to credit. They feel it when they're doing their credit repair. They feel it. I see it firsthand every day of individuals who need help. Okay. This is what happens when you give the big breaks, the big tax breaks to the people at the very top, and you think that trickle down economics is going to work. It just simply doesn't. Right. And so the big breaks, the taxes happen. And then people come in and these politicians promise, oh, I'll give the middle class a tax break. And what do? They give you a small tax break and then they print more money, increasing inflation, which is a regressive tax, which is a tax because now you feel it. Now you feel it when you go to the gas station, when you go to the grocery store, you feel it everywhere. Prices are going up. Hey, look, we gave you a tax break. You got more money on your check, but now that money is going to buy you less. They get you. They get you. So yes, student loan forgiveness, I'm for it. Okay. People need it. People need help. All right. Now, if you got further questions, you can put them in the chat below as well on the live. You can put them in the comments because I know individuals are probably going to be watching the live replay because I know I'm coming in late. I'm coming in hot, late at night, late on a weekend. Okay. Can't wait. This can't wait. This can't wait. All right. So what else we got, Drum? What we got? That's right. Federal Reserve. So we're talking about inflation, why people are feeling it. Love it. Sleep is for the weak. That's right. I work 28 hours a day, 9 days a week. Ain't nobody sleeping here. This is what I'm a little confused about. It says student loans came right I'm thinking off my credit report. Is that correct? Student loans came right off my credit reports. And is that from disputing or from the student loan forgiveness? I'd be very interested to know. Came right off the credit reports. Excellent. I'm glad if they dispute and they came off the credit report. That's excellent. Another individual got their student loans off their credit reports, right? It is possible. 609creditrepair.com. We can do the work for you, the Awesome Life Group. Now, why is college going up? Inflation is going up. You feel it at the pump. You feel it when you go. Indeed, they said off. Student loans come off the credit reports. Coming up. So they're trying to tamp down inflation, right? Trying to bring inflation down. And this is what the chairman said, Federal Reserve chairman said about inflation and what the game plan is moving forward from the FOMC meeting out in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Jackson Hole, Wyoming is a nice little city out there. They're out there resorting. These guys are out in a resort, Jackson Hole, having a good old time. Taxpayers' dime, having a good old time. No forgiveness. So this was the dispute process. The disputing got their student loans off their credit reports. Thank you so much. Hero Charms, I believe. Hero Charm. Thank you so much for letting the subscribe tribe know. So this individual, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell speaks at Jackson Hole. Okay. Not long ago, a couple of days ago. And they're kind of talking ambiguously, but I'm gonna break this down a little bit here. This is a little clip, but we're not gonna watch this whole thing, just a little clip, okay? Hang tight.
July's increase in the target range was the second 75 basis point increase in as many meetings. And I said then that another unusually large increase could be appropriate at our next meeting. We are now about halfway through the intermeeting period. Our decision at the September meeting will depend on the totality of the incoming data and the evolving outlook.
Okay. So he said, hey, look, we had a 75 basis point hike. We might have to do something as drastic, but it's really going to matter about the totality of the incoming data around September and when we're going to do our hike in September. Okay. They're thinking we might have to do 75 basis points. We might have to do 50 basis points. Maybe we do nothing. Maybe we do something. Maybe we do, I don't know. And a good meme came out of that. Okay. A good meme came out of this. I like this meme because it really helps. It helps a lot of people. Look at this. If you can't convince them, confuse them. Okay. If you can't convince them, confuse them. Right? No, well, they don't know. They don't know what's going on. The people don't know. Let's not tell them. Right? Why come out with some strange, well, you know, we've been thinking about it. We've been out here fishing, fly fishing. We've been out here having a good old time in Jackson Hole. We're on vacation. And, we did 75 basis points. We might do 75 basis. We might not. We might not. We'll see. We'll see how bad it is. We'll see how good it is. We'll see. I don't know. We don't know. We see. I don't know. Right. And they do all these big words. They basically could have said, we're not sure. We'll let you know in September. Right. But hey, we did this, the totality of the incoming data and whether they did credits on the actuality of whether the basis point rate hike will have an quantitative ease or quantitative tightening necessary into the adjacent inflation rates, right? Why do you say stuff like that? To confuse people, right? Okay. So I don't have to watch it too much because I've broken down basically what this is. Hawkish, dovish, they talk about is it going to be a high interest rate hike or a low interest rate hike? And how does that affect businesses and credit and your credit repair journey? Is because if inflation continues, and if it continues and continues and continues and continues, asset prices like the stock market are going to go up. Okay. Asset prices like crypto are going to go up. Asset prices for homes are going to go up. It may not be overnight, and it may not be in the next 6 months or a year, but after a period of time, the stock market's up 63% in the past 5 days. And you say, what? How's that possible? And I'm going to talk about why 2% inflation is not very probable. Be like, how? That's not possible. What? Oh, excuse me. That is incorrect. Actually, the stock market's down in the past 5 days. In the past 5 years, the past 5 years, the stock market's up 63%. Okay. Stock market's up 63% in the past 5 years. And that's from inflation. Okay. So when they come out and they say stuff like, oh, well, we're going to have potential rate hikes. We're going to have potential 75 basis point. The market dropped. The S&P 500 market dropped. Okay. Bam. They say, oh, well, maybe we can't deal with it. But if you look over 5 years, if you zoom out and you look at when this money printing happened, right? And they've been printing money forever and ever and ever and ever. And you see the unprecedented C19 issue here where we dropped and we came back up. And now, even with quantitative tightening, even with the Fed not printing as much money, we're still really high. I mean, the highest high was 47.66 or something like that. And now it's at 4,000. It's still incredibly strong. How could it be this strong after 5 years and at 5 years up 63%? It's because of this inflation. They've inflated the money. They printed the money supply. It's wild. So it affects you because not only could potentially business loans and business lines of credit get more expensive, right? And businesses want to save capital. Corporations and banks want to save capital. They might want to lend as much. Now, from what I'm seeing, it seems to be fine. Okay. But if this continues and this process keeps happening and they keep bringing the rates up and the rates up and the rates up and the mortgage rates go up and people can't afford mortgages, because we talked about this in our last live stream, how the average mortgage rate has gone up, like in the past year has gone up, like, can't remember. I don't want to misquote it, but it's gone up a considerable amount. Okay. I think the median mortgage was about 400,000. Now it's a little above 500,000. Okay. In about 12 months. So that's clearly inflation. I mean, did the houses get that much better in 12 months? Right? They're probably the same houses that were built from the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. Okay. So asset prices will eventually rise, and it's going to kick off like wildfire once the Federal Reserve has to pivot, has to stop tightening money. 2% interest rate is probably not very probable. We're at about a Trueflation, I think, has us at about 9%. Let me look this up. Trueflation. Independent. Let's see what we got here. Trueflation in the United States is 9.32%. I'll share this with you. Trueflation is very helpful. So I think everybody can see this now, right? Trueflation, 9.32%. Trueflation. So if they say, oh, well, it's we're at 5%, we're at 9% inflation, we're at 8% inflation, whatever they say. I think the CPI number is like 8% or something like that. But I look at the real inflation. This is 9.3%. A little while ago in March, it was 11. It was almost at 12%. I mean, it's a lot of inflation. So it's probably unlikely. And you can look at food and alcohol. Housing is up 10%. Transportation up 12%, right? Cars. Utilities up 13.65%. Healthcare, I'm sure, is still ridiculous. Even if it's at 0%, healthcare is still crazy. You're looking at households, durables, 8%. Let's look at education at 2.5%, but still through the roof. And we know it's usually around 9% anyway. So that's on top of the 9% that we normally see. So you're looking at a pretty high inflation rate in the U.S. Now, it's just the United States. I wonder what the United Kingdom looks like. Oof, UK, 14.93%, almost 15% in the United Kingdom. You don't think they're going to start printing money? I mean, they can tighten. They can try to get it down 10%, 9%, 7%. But at some point, they can only go so high because they'll break the system. They'll go into what's called a debt spiral. I'm sure plenty of people know that, right? Same thing with the U.S. So they can only go so high. So 2%, where they want to get to in the United States, is probably unlikely. Maybe they'll get it down to, and they'll cook the books a little bit. They say, oh, we're at 8% right now. Maybe we tighten a little more. It comes down a few more. We're at 5%. And then they might say something like, well, we're seeing consumer and household goods at around 2.5 to 3%. And they'll be so happy and everybody will be great. And next year they'll start saying, well, we got to pay for the Inflation Reduction Act. We got to pay for these student loan cancellations. We got to pay for this. We've got some deficits here. We're going to have to print some money. Hey, it's fine. But what you might want to think about is getting assets that inflate with money, kind of like the S&P 500. And again, not legal financial or tax advice. Okay. Just things that I'm looking at, things that I'm considering looking at. Over the past 5 years, stock market's up 63%. It is for the most part kept up with inflation. Okay. And man, 5 years ago, I wish I had invested in the S&P 500 and had held for 5 years and would have done well. But I'm looking at it now, right? And perhaps you can look at it now. We get our credit squared away. We look at this kind of stuff. Now, another similar asset you could look at. Bitcoin is another one I seem to like. That's another one, good one you might want to look at. Look at this. There we go. Individual. Jason Stout says XRP and Ripple, a new financial market. This is all done on purpose. That's right. The government's looking at central bank digital currencies. They're looking at digital dollars. Jason Stout might have an inside play. He's an inside player. No, he knows XRP and Ripple is going to the moon. No, I mean, it might be useful to look into it. I don't look at XRP and Ripple too often. I do see some people really like it because they think it's going to be part of the next financial system, next financial wave. Again, not financial or legal advice. I haven't looked too much into XRP, Ripple, IOTA. What is the other one? Argon. I'm trying to think. Algorand and some other one might be part of the next financial wave. Ethereum may be useful. And of course, Bitcoin is a good asset. It goes up with inflation, basically. Things get inflated up, asset price goes up, Bitcoin goes up. Whether or not that will ever be a digital currency that gets used as legal tender and credit, probably not. I'm guessing probably not. But it would probably be like art. It'll probably be like a stock. It'll probably be like a commodity. It'll be an asset and it can go up. It'll be like a home. It can go up. Okay. So we've got some questions here. We got questions. Oh, and here's the other last thing I want to say about. This is a Wharton. I don't know why they got it. Wharton's business school. Wharton's a very well-known business school. And this is a Wharton business school professor. And he thinks the Fed only really needs to hike maybe another 100 basis points, which really basis points is 1%. That means 1%. 100 basis points means 1%. This professor, put some respect on his name, this professor. He thinks only another percent. And the reason why is, one, it'll tamp down, but they really can only go another 1% up. They can only get to about 3.5% on the Fed's fund rate, the interest rate, because beyond that, it becomes too expensive to finance the debt that we're paying. Okay. Maybe they'll break the system. Maybe they'll do it. Who knows? Okay. Armageddon, and they issue in their digital currency. But it's going to be an easier landing to inflate the money supply, inflate their way out. And pretty soon the money will be less and less, and they can pay off the debt. And they can say, well, this money isn't really as good, but let's trade it out for this digital money. And it'll be a little bit smoother. And then people won't come for their heads, right? And then, of course, your house, your business, your Bitcoin, your crypto, your stocks, your assets will have inflated up. The only thing that probably doesn't do well in inflationary is bonds, because those will probably eventually go from that 3.5% to 2% to 1%, because that's how the Fed rate, how they get their money, is through bonds, so selling bonds. So the bond rate goes up right now because the interest rates are going up, but it may not be that way forever. Okay. 6 months, a year, 2 years, eventually they're going to have to start printing money again to pay for some of these things. Now, this can be a good time for you to get ready. Okay. Get your credit squared away. Get ready for a potential turn in the housing market. And I hate to say it, but you're seeing it all over, right? There might be a dip in the housing market, right? You may want to have your credit squared away to get that home, to get that business when somebody wants to potentially sell or start a new business. You can get that business. You can start that real estate investment. You can do what you need to do, but you got to get your credit squared away first, okay? Individual actually asked, will leaving a freeze on my smaller bureaus affect me getting new credit? And no, typically the smaller bureaus don't affect you getting new credit. If you've got the three main bureaus open, and they are able to look at your credit reports, you should be fine. Okay. And thank you very much, Maserati Boss. Keep up the great work. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Should I consolidate a Perkins loan? All right, Elijah. Should I consolidate a Perkins loan? Well, I believe the Perkins loan is a student loan, correct? And I'm not sure if you saw the beginning of this, but it appears as if $10,000 of those student loans are going to be forgiven by this Biden administration. Maybe you have more than that. Is that perhaps why you're asking? I'm not sure, but I think you might be eligible for student loan forgiveness. You may be able to dispute negative items out of there, get your credit squared away. Let me know, Elijah, more specifics on that. And also, if you perhaps you need to run, it's late or whatever, I've got my email here on the ticker down below. Ha ha! All right. Is it good to buy a house now and refinance when the market comes back down? Okay. Well, I can't give you any financial or legal advice, but I would tell you what I'm interested in. Okay. I'm interested in waiting to actually see the market dip because I have a feeling. Okay. I have a feeling that if you were to purchase now and refinance later, you still might come out ahead. I still might come out ahead. Excuse me, not you, but I might come out because I can't give you financial advice, but I might come out ahead. Not by refinancing, but actually getting a better price on a home. The reason why is because hedge funds and banks and all these permanent capital people were purchasing homes. They're going to have to stop doing that when it gets too expensive because the Federal Reserve has raised interest rates so high that they can't borrow money. Okay. So, yes, more than 10K, it's a private loan. Okay. Well, no, public, but through my university. Okay. So you have student loan, and it looks like 10,000 of the student loan is probably going to be forgiven. So it may be a little bit more than that. So perhaps it makes sense for you to dispute, to get it off of there, and to continue the process. It depends on where you are and what you need to do for consolidation. Not really sure. Feel free to email me with more of your specific details. You may not want to put them out here on the live and all that. So that it might feel better for you. But feel free to contact me at my email info@609creditrepair.com as it's scrolling below. Okay. Nice. Been watching your videos for 7 years. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate it. Thank you for being on the live. Thank you for being here late on a Sunday. Sunday night, hot Sunday night. It's hot under these lights. We got this nice ring light up here, Jerome set up, and it's hot. It's getting hot. It's getting spicy. It's getting caliente. Yes. All right. Elijah's going to email you. Set up appointment on Friday. Excellent. Fantastic. I like it. That way we can go a little bit more in depth with the individual's private, credit reports and financial stuff and all that. So I don't want to get too wild on the live, the public. So, all right, let's see. Oh man, I sent the. Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. Okay, this is a good one here. People have probably seen this. What does dispute resolve? Consumer disagrees. What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? Tell me, what does it mean? What does it mean? Okay, so I used to look at that. Okay, back in the day, and I was like, what does this mean? It doesn't mean anything really. Okay. This is what I realized. It's so weird the way that see the banner. So if I hold the mic here, it looks okay. But I look here, to me, it looks like somebody else is holding the microphone, right? Looks a little creepy. Okay. It doesn't really mean anything. They put stuff on there to confuse people. Oh, it's resolved, meets FCRA, it's verified, updated, but they haven't given you any proof, right? They've given you no proof. They've given you no contracts. They've given you nothing to substantiate it truly is yours. It truly is belonging there. It's true. They can truly collect. They truly have the right to put it out there on a third-party platform like the credit reporting agencies. And so they will just mark things on their credit reports and send them to you. Dispute resolves, updated. You want deleted, and people get deleted. We have deleted. Because this software here allows me to showcase the testimonials. I'm going to make a reel. I have to tighten up the reel. The reel's fine. I just have to compress it. That's what I mean to say. And I'm going to show people getting deletions and deletions. That's what you want. So what do? You send your next round of letters. You can complain to the CFPB about this. You do not have to take this lying down. Okay? You don't have to take this lying down. You are capable of getting to the other side. Anyone's done it. Everyone's done it. You can do it. Many people have done it. Okay? Many people have done it. Not potentially, but many people have done it. Most people can do it, and you can do it. You could be next, okay? 609creditrepair.com. We can do the work for you at theawesomelifegroup.com, all right? All right, Miss Fields. You've been very patient. Sorry, I missed that. Miss Fields, do you know if you saw the deletion? You got a deletion. Was it sent to you in the mail, or did you see it online somewhere? Please let me know. There you go. The school that I attended was on the list they released for forgiveness. Should I apply for forgiveness? Well, hey, I can't give you any legal or financial advice, but if it was my situation and I could get forgiveness on a student loan, that might behoove you to get forgiveness on a student loan. Okay. All right. Excellent. Excellent. All right. So, saying, all right. So, on a report online. Now, you saw it on your report online. Was this with the bureaus online, or was it with a third party? And did it say deleted or did it say removed? Prosperity affirmation. I've heard of this type of story. I don't believe that is 100% true. I don't know who you've heard. Have you heard? Did it happen to you? No. It looks like, is it true? The what ifs and the ends and the whatnot. It sounds hypothetical, or maybe, somebody's cousin said this or that. Like, unless it's happened specifically to you or somebody that you've seen in black and white, chances are you disputed the student loan. It's out of there. It's out of there, right? This unverified student loan. For them to really find it somewhere else is very unlikely. Very unlikely. Okay, so the bureaus removed. All three removed. So it didn't say deleted. It said removed. That's what I'm asking. Did it say deleted or did it say removed? And you're saying it said removed from the bureaus. Yes. What app was it? Was it Experian app? Was it Credit Karma? Was it Credit Sesame? Which one was it? Yes, it was Credit Karma, Miss Fields. Like this. Ronald Perry. Stop going to college because your parents told you to. To each his own. College can be a mixed bag, right? There's plenty of Credit Karma. Well, that's one issue right there. And now Experian seems to be doing the same thing Credit Karma is doing. Okay. So removed is not a status. It just isn't. It's another one of these things, one of these games that they play. Okay. Removed. No, not removed. Maybe removed. Deleted. You're looking for deleted. 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 Okay. They play this game in hopes you forget. Let's pull it out of the algorithm for a minute. And let's see if we can go. Send your next round of letters. Complain to the CFPB about them playing games. This is nonsense. They shouldn't be doing that. Okay. And you will. You can get to the other side. Plenty of people do. Plenty of people do. Sorry. Got too close to the mic. Get too close to the mic. I should say yes. Okay. So yes. Okay. Thank you. Go ahead. Good stuff. Let's see here. Looking through the questions. I don't want to miss any. Got to look back a little bit. Apologies. Oh, I did miss this. This is great. MJM says, same here. I'm a veteran. He all helped my husband, and we closed. She's talking about on her new home in April. Closed in April on our new home. This is fantastic. We had MJM and Christopher Dillard were two veterans who were able to get homes. All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Fields. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming here on the live late on a Sunday night. Also, is this ring light too much? Jerome got it turned up to 11 over here. Got it on high heat. Is it am I too bright? I don't know. I don't know. I think I look okay. Who knows? Who knows, right? Who knows? All right. If you've got further questions, you know where to get me. Info at 609creditrepair.com. Okay. Oops. Man, this hot lights. I'm trying to get back to the comments. There we go. Cool. So let's see what else we got. Jerome printed these out. What else we got going on? Oh, this is a good one. This is a real good one because sometimes people forget to send out letters. Okay. They forget. Say, hey, I purchased the lettuce. Okay. And I started sending them out right at the beginning, back during that C19 time, right? 2020, early 2020. But I never got around to sending out more letters later that year. Do I need to start over? Now it's 2022 now, so it's been about 2 years. Do I need to start over, or can I start with where I left off? So what we say, and what we've seen, is if it's been more than 90 days since you sent your last letters, you need to start over. If it's been less than 90 days, you can continue from where you left off. Okay. Over 3 months, it's just too long. Less than 3 months, you're okay. And that gives you a little wiggle room. If you miss a window, you're moving, you got stuff going on, you got stuff going on with the family, you can't get it out right when they send something to you, when the bureau sends something to you, or the collector sends something to you. Hey, you got a little time, you got a month or two. Okay. Over 90 days, you got to start over. Less than 90 days, you can continue where you left off. Okay. All right. Yes, Miss Fields, you can feel free to email me if you require anything. We can go over your letters and your ebooks and make sure everything you got is going to help you get to the other side. Or anyone can do that. Anyone can email me. I can look at your profiles and your reports and help you get to the other side. That's what I'm here for. Okay. That's what I'm here for. Let's see what else we got. Jerome, what else you got? What else you got? What else you got? All right. Oh, great. TransUnion deleted a negative item, but it's still on Equifax. Okay. Now I'm about to send round 2 letter to Equifax. What you can do, all they sent was an itemized statement from the doctor's office. Okay. And that's all the collector said. What you can do is you can send proof of deletion from one bureau to help substantiate with your next round of letters. And I'm not saying the bureaus are going to be like, oh my God, we have to. But what they're going to understand is that that they're supposed to be all on the same reporting system, that Metro 2 reporting, right? And it's all supposed to be standardized, and it's all supposed to be the same for the most part if they're all reporting to the same bureaus. All 3 were reporting. Now, all of a sudden, one of them couldn't verify it. So chances are the other will follow suit, and you want to let them know, hey, they deleted. You need to delete this unverified item as well. Now, one thing that might not be completely the same as hard inquiries. And the reason why is because hard inquiries get pulled usually from one bureau, from one credit pull. So if you're getting a credit card, typically it's from one bureau, one hard inquiry, one time. So this individual said, hey, look, I noticed I was looking at my hard inquiries and they show differently on the 3 credit reports. One credit report has 5 hard inquiries. One credit report only has 2, and one credit report has 0. Okay. Are all the agencies supposed to be reporting these hard inquiries the same? Well, typically, since they were not all reporting them and they all didn't get the hard inquiry pulls on them, they won't all be perfectly the same. When your good credit is reporting to all 3 credit bureaus, right? They're supposed to be reporting to all 3 credit bureaus. If for some reason, which is very rare, they don't report to all 3, then it wouldn't report to all 3. But when it comes off of one and it's sitting on the other 2, then they need to all be uniform, right? Potentially come off all the others when they can't verify. They couldn't verify one, so they need to remove from the others because they couldn't quote unquote verify it as well. Very strange. So hard inquiry is a little different, but non-account holding inquiries can be disputed. Non-account holding inquiries can be disputed. We've got special letters for that. You don't want to dispute an inquiry that has an account attached to it, because if you dispute that, the hard inquiry comes off. They may close your good standing account. They may potentially do something where they don't want you to come back and get an account with them. Okay. So non-account holding inquiries, hey, feel free. You can dispute them. We got special letters for non-account holding inquiries. You can dispute and get those letters at 609creditrepair.com, or we can do the work for you at theawesomelifegroup.com. All right. We're doing this on the daily. I'm doing this late night so I can get up early and get on this credit repair journey with y'all. Okay. This is why I'm getting ahead. All right. I'm getting this video out so it's ready in the morning. So people get up. They're like, how did Brandon do this? Oh, man, he was doing it at night. When does he sleep? Never. I never sleep. I work 28 hours a day, 9 days a week. All right. I'm up working with Jerome. I'm working with the team. We're sending out dispute letters. All right. We're getting negative items off of credit reports. You could be next. All right. I'm working 10 hours a minute, 17 days a week. Okay. I never sleep. Okay. We've got more negative items off than any other negative item off getting machine in the world. I work 30 days a week, 100 hours a day. Okay. 700 hours a day. Okay. Enough with this foolishness, Jerome. Okay. Get me all wound up late at night. Okay. I gotta sleep. All right. Anyway, what about this background? You'll think I need to put some stuff on my nice gray background? I like it clean like that. I see a lot of people with the fancy setups. I put some lights and my name and Awesome Life Group and Brandon Weaver and have the mic, have like a mic stand hanging. No, what do y'all think? You can let me know in the comments. You let me know in the chats. Okay. If I made any mistakes tonight, please just know I meant well. I'm trying to help everybody to the other side. I'm trying to add a new format, doing credits, doing business credits, doing crypto, doing credit markets, doing culture, right? Got some culture, got some news in there. Getting to the other side. Let me know what you want to see on this platform. We're going to do more business credit, how you can get 100,000, 200,000 in business credit. I did a video on that just recently. Okay. Let me go through my rundown, make sure I went through everything. Yep. Oh yeah, we're talking about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. It's down a little bit. It's flat. It's probably going to be down until the Federal Reserve pivots. But once it does, again, all assets will rise. All boats will rise. All tides rise. All boats, right? So we're just waiting for that Fed pivot. My best guess would be early next year, where they'll stop raising rates and they'll start printing money. So September, they might raise rates a little bit. So October, November, and then probably November will probably be it. You doing business credit now? Yes. Business credit. It's down here in the ticker. Business credit, www. It's passing right now. algbusinesscredit.com. Let me know if that ticker is just too much in the bottom there. Maybe I should get we should get an outline and have something in with the logo. But yes, ALG Business Credit. We help individuals get business credit and business funding. You want to get to good personal credit squared away so you can get immediate funding, and we help you build business credit in just the EIN number with no personal guarantee. It's what we call our business credit builder program. We have that as well. algbusinesscredit.com. You can also email me. It can help you. We do consultations. We help people get to the other side of their credit and business credit journey. Also, if you have some business credit issues, like you've had some not so great things on your business credit, we may be able to help you dispute those things as well. On the business credit side of things, a little different. Doesn't have the FCRA, doesn't have the consumer. You're not really considered the Consumer Reporting Acts to be helpful. We have to do things a little differently. It's still disputes, but it's a little more cryptic. If you ever looked at nav.com for business credit, you'll see it's a little more cryptic. The trade lines are a little more hidden, guarded. They'll be on there, but you may not see the name. You have to figure it out. But we're pretty savvy with that. Okay. All right. I'm going to have to put together a whole business credit program. I'm going to have to put my slides together in a PowerPoint and all that stuff for business credit. I know that I have this nice, powerful software now, so I'll be able to do a lot more. All right. So I would love to talk more, but I know people got to get up. They got to work on Monday. I got to get up and work on Monday, trying to keep me here. Get tight. Get in, Jerome. Get tight, brother. Get tight. All right, everybody. I love you all so very much. I appreciate it. I'm gonna hit you with the outro, and then we's got to go. So 609creditrepair.com. We can do the work for the awesomelifegroup.com. My email's flying right by on the ticker right now. And until I see you in person, I will see you on the other side. Take care.